So we are working on this assignment here. We're taking our nice pretty house and making it scuffed. So really bad looking. Here's the video we were following to begin with, but then we found issues with the plugin and then missing materials. So I'm going to walk through how to set that up. So I've already got it set up here in Blender. You can see I've got there's the worn wood. And then if I zoom way the heck in here, my factor, that's funny. It only really goes from 0 to 1. So that's blending between the two inputs that I've got. So that's the polygon plugin. I guess if I can find it halfway, like you can see it's brown and blue at the same time, whatever. But that's what he's going to do. He's going to show you how to paint those on, but I'm just going to show you how to get them set up here. So I'm going to go here and we start with this empty texture set. And you know what? I think instead of ripping all this out, I'm just going to make a new texture set. So I've got something to refer back to. So I've got my siding guy selected here. I'm going to go to my material tab. And I'm just going to make a new material node here. And we'll call this new siding. And then because I will want to see it, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tab, make sure I hit A, and I'm going to assign this to all of the faces. So it's all using the new siding now. I'll do the same thing up here. Actually, I can just, maybe I can do that. So I'm going to add the new siding to my other guy. Yeah, it didn't work out for them. It didn't reapply. I was hoping if I just moved it up the stack. Whatever, I'll just take it out of this one. All right. So now that I've taken the old siding out of that one and there's only one material, then now it's on all of them. And what he's going to do in the video later on that I've already done is the UV unwrap. So I'll show you what that looks like. Come back here, grab this guy, and yeah, there's a lot going on here. So I hit A to get everything, U to UV unwrap, smart UV project, yeah, whatever, and then it gets them all. But the planks are all going up and down by default. So I'm going to come over here and hit A, rotate 90 degrees, enter. So hit AR 90, enter, and now they'll be set up for our wood grain when we get that on there. So I did that part. So that's the part in the instructions that I did behind the scenes. So I redid it for you. Tab and get out of that. Let me go back to my shading. The other thing that I've already done is I've already downloaded all of the zips that are on the canvas page, and then unzipped them all and put them all into my textures folder. So if I come over here to 2025, here's my rental house, my textures folder. I've got all of these set up in here. So the first one we're going to do is this wood painted peeling stage 0, and so this is with the most paint on it. And for whatever reason, we got a nice preview sphere with it. That's what the material looks like. So we've got them all in there, and they're unzipped and they're ready to go. So I've got new siding. It's applied here, and where the heck is it? That's hilarious. Frame all. There we go. Man, so view it. It was lost somewhere in this endless abyss of places we could have our nodes at. So there's just a big empty space with boxes. So if you lose it, it's view and then frame all, and then we get it all. So I've got this guy in here. The part that I'm skipping is, so if we go to edit and preferences, hold on, let me just do this really quick. It doesn't work in here. Turn on the screencast keys, maybe that will keep. All right. So up here in edit and preferences, Already installed when you install Blender is under add-ons is something called Node Wrangler. And so if you've not done this yet, you don't have a checkbox next to it. So just find it, check the box. And this is going to do what a lot of the Polygon plugin would do for us if we were using it the way he wants us to. So I've got Node Wrangler plugin. It's already installed. I just turned it on, so it's here. It's ready to go. So I'm going to do this. The first thing I want to do, I've grabbed my principled BSDF, so the base for this new siding. I'm going to hit Control, Shift, and T. And that's a shortcut for Node Wrangler. And so it's going to pull up this guy, and I'm going to go to my Textures folder. And I'm going to find the Wood Painted Peeling 0, maybe. There it is. Okay, if I hover over it, I can see which one. If you're going to have so many folders named so similarly, put the difference up closer. So stage 0, that's what I want. So I'm going to open that guy. I'm going to grab this first one, hold down Shift, and then grab the last one. So I'm grabbing all of the textures here except for that little sphere guy. Don't need him. And then I just hit Principal Texture Set. And boom. It took all of those, mapped them out for us, hooked them all up, and then the Node Wrangler gave us this texture coordinate and mapping nodes already set up, which is something that the guru is going to do later in his video. So now I can see, right, I've got my siding going through here, the painted version, and so without anything else done, I can come in here to my scale and just pick a number. We'll do 7, 7, and 7. And so then now it's not so big. We can see it's tiled it basically 7 times across there. So the grooves and stuff are a lot smaller, finer detailed. Pick whatever number in there. I think I might have recommended 5. All right, so when this was all empty and I just grabbed this and it was highlighted in white, Control, Shift, and T all together, and that pulled up the Node Wrangler. Yeah, and then I just went and found that texture set, selected it all, boom. Node Wrangler is awesome. So later on, when you're getting into Substance Painter and you're creating substances there, which I do a lot, I use Node Wrangler like mad. So I'll go make a concrete with pits and all kinds of stuff in it, roughness, normal map, and then I export that all from Painter, come in here, and the exact same thing. And Node Wrangler sets it all up. So we've got our first guy in, and it's already hooked up, but we don't need it already hooked up. So I'm going to come disconnect this. So in my principal BSDF, my main guy, I'm just going to grab these little dots and pull them off. Okay, because what we're supposed to be doing is mixing a few different ones. So I'm going to grab this guy. This also has a displacement going to my regular material output. I'm going to pull that off. So now that's isolated again. And we can do a couple of different ways. Again, this is an endless void of things. I'm going to grab these guys right here and just move them off over this way to make room for another set. So I'm going to come down here, and this is my first one. So I'm going to have this, just leave this guy up top, and I'm going to do the exact same thing I did. So I'm going to grab this, it's highlighted in white, Control Shift T, and I'm going to go find the other version. So Wood Painted Peeling Stage 4. Same deal. Grab all of that, except for the little sphere boy. Get Principal Texture set up. And now it's hooked up, and we can see stage 4. So we're using 0 and 4 right now, and then he's going to have us use 2 as the blending mode later on in his video. So same thing. Now I've got 2 set up, and I need to unset it up because it's all hooked up, and we can see now it's all just the rough wood or the raw wood, as he would say. Let me go back here and figure out what did I leave that at. So I think I chose 6 on the scale for the first one. So I'm going to go ahead and make that match down here with this. So on my mapping, just zooming in with the scroll wheel, 6 all the way down. So now it should be the same scale. And I'm going to unhook this. So take this off the base color, off the roughness, off the normal, and then again off the displacement. So we're back to nothing here. Grab all that and that. I think I can just shift and add that to it. No? Yes. All right. So there's my whole second set that I brought in. I've got it all highlighted. I'm just going to slide this over again. And you can use Shift A to pull up the add. And if you've got the polygon add-in that we're supposed to have, come down here to polygon node groups, and the PBR mixer is doing all of the heavy lifting for us. And for whatever reason, when you click on that, it's just like floating until you click again. So I'm going to plop him right down there in the middle. He's good to go. And we'll start hooking him up. So the base color from the mixer, we're going to put here. He doesn't use it, but you could hook up the metalness to the metallic, roughness to roughness, the normal. Yeah, this is not the one. So the normal here to the normal input there. And what we could do is this displacement all the way over to the displacement on the material output. So our mixer that has nothing in it to mix is all hooked back up to our material. Now that's all really far away. I'm just going to grab these all and move them up here while I'm working from up here. It's wild, it's crazy, it's what we're doing. Okay. Now I'll try to zoom in so I can see what's happening. He doesn't appear to be using the ambient occlusion in his setup, so I'm just going to skip that guy for now. His base color, put that into this first spot for base color. So you can already see that the color is mapping in. And then again, we're just going to go down the line. So the roughness, it's going through an inverter. So we're going to go from here on the roughness to the roughness in this first slot. See, in this polygon mixer, we've got like basically, this is the first one, base color, and then base color 2 is the start of the second one we're mixing. So I'm putting roughness in for the roughness on 1, displacement. We can, I thought he had a, there it is. I just couldn't see it. It's too small. Displacement over here, onto that displacement, and then bump going through this. So there he's combining, or the node wrangler is combining the bumps and the normals together to make a normal map. So I'm just going to grab this last little guy that says normal and come up here to normal for number 1. So that one's all hooked up. And if we tried to shift between that and the other one that's not hooked up, you can see it just goes to nothing. This factor is what we're using as our blender. So, no pun intended. Blending stuff in Blender. So now we've got the first material on there. He looks all cool. If I come over here to layout, it looks good. But we can't really see in this mode the siding edges. When we come into the fully lit mode, you can see we still have our siding here. It's all retained. It looks even better. It's super slow now. So that's there. I'm going to go back to the shading tab. Our first one's hooked up. Now we just got to hook up the second one. So I'm going to grab these all again. So there's my mixer and then my final outputs. Grab those, drag them down closer to my second texture setup because I don't have a 75-inch monitor, which is really ruining my life right now. Somebody needs to give me a 75-inch monitor. 4K. You know what? Make it 8K. All right, same thing. We're going to skip over the ambient occlusion. I'm going to bring the base color for this guy over to base color 2. The inverted roughness over to the roughness 2, and on down the line. Displacement to displacement 2. And this bump normal to normal 2. That's the hookup. That gets us through a big part of the video that just does not work the way that we want it to. So we got these are already set up. And I think even in the instructions, I've got the timestamp where he's asking you to grab a new texture and mapping node. We got them for free. So we're all here. We're all hooked up. I can see now if I come zoom way in, that mouse, 3-button mouse, man, scroll wheel for everything. So if I start to blend these, you can see it going between the two, which is what he's got set up. And then he's going to use, so that same setup, he's going to bring in another node, another texture set. So the rough wood 2, whatever, he's going to plug that into this factor, and that's what we're going to use to paint between the two. But that's how you set it up with Node Wrangler instead of the Blender thing. One other note, something that I did that you might be interested in. So on the first one, this, I got that fully in. Am I fully on that? Yeah, so I'm at 0. So I'm using the first one completely. By default, we're putting a white color on here, which is cool, I guess. But I'm going to unhook this, and we're going to add some other goodies in. So I'm going to grab this color off of that. Is it not? Okay, it's not going to let me do that. Let me just unhook this. Well, I don't have to unhook it. I can just rehook it later. So I'm going to come off of this guy. So I'm going to grab color, pull off of here into the ether, and it's going to be like, what do you need? Well, I need a color mix. So here we go. Yeah, mix color. Sure. So I'm going to grab that node and drop that here. And then I'm going to take that result down to my mixer node here for the color on number 1. So I'm replacing this first base color. Right now it's not doing anything because I'm mixing white over the white. Now that I've got this color mixer guy in place, I can hit this little guy here and we can make it, oh no, where's my texture? Fuchsia or whatever. So you can paint your paint. You need a yellow house, blue, green, red, whatever. Yeah, I can choose some really awful colors there. But that's how you can, if you had color on your siding, that's how you can retain it. And we don't need to do that with the other one. Gosh, this is ridiculously large because this is just the raw wood with no paint. So we're not going to put a color mix on that. So now in our factory boy here, we're blending from blue to raw wood or whatever that color is. I don't even know what color that is. Periwinkle? What have we done? Okay, we can change the amount of color we're putting on there. So by default, it's like a half. So even this dark blue looks light. Crank that factor way up. And let's go back to misting texture color. I need the exact text for that because we need that in life. All right. So anyway, that's that. That's the setup. Instead of going through the now outdated and rewritten polygon material converter and not going through the polygon full add-on because we're using textures differently. But if you've got, right, so we got the what was it, marble from our donuts, we got that should be in your list. So you can import and then apply that to something. Yeah, import it, that's cool. And then, you know, if I was just being crazy, I could apply a 2K marble texture to the roof. And of course I need to do the blending. So if you got a nice set of materials from the Polygon website, officially, that's how easy it is to apply it and set up. But since we're going a roundabout way, you'll need these other instructions. Let me see the shading here. Yeah, so this is the marble texture coordinate. He's got pretty much the same setup we've got. He's got a color adder, reflection, gloss. So yeah, going through the official polygon stuff gives us almost the same thing. It might look a little cleaner, but it accomplishes the same goals. So that's the marble on our roof. If you want it, you don't have a marble roof. You'll use the other stuff. But anyway, that's the setup for, what do we call it? New siding? Yeah, new siding. So there's what we're supposed to be looking at. Honestly, these nodes, if you just match the names up, it's not as scary as it looks. I know when you look at this, you're like, oh my God, I'm not a computer science like doctorate student or whatever. It's crazy. It's not that scary. It does cool stuff. It's just it's a nice visual way of hooking things up. What are you doing with the sunglasses? Okay. Note to self: ignore Joshua when we're on live. All right, that's that. Um, Following the rest of his tutorial should be smooth sailing at this point. We've already set up 2 textures. We'll bring in the third one to use as the factor for painting. That's how I was able to use his texture sets coming in sideways in the blender. We good? All right. What I have done is, I guess I scrolled right past it. This is now due Wednesday night. So you have like 24 plus hours. 36, 38 hours to finish that. And then remember that we're doing all this stuff, breaking windows, wood barricades. I haven't done that yet. Make it wonky. So we need the painted wood blending. So that's what we just set up almost. We still need that third texture set in there to be our mask. Add the moss. So again, keep following the roof thing. So we're going to end up with 4 texture material sets in our siding. The 3 different woods and the moss. And then I want you to do the roof. So the roof has got 3 texture sets on it as well. And we've got all of those. So that's the roof, the mossy roof, and the leaves. So follow what he's doing. Everything else should, fingers crossed, everything else should work like it does in the video, between his video and these steps. If you find out it doesn't, hit me on the Discord ASAP so we can figure out what the next steps are. Should all work. And then there's extra points in here. If you add this shader graph stuff, you add the water damage to the siding, or you add some kind of wood rot to your trim and your door frames and all that. Extra points if you do the concrete slab with the brick plus the moss and all that stuff. Even they don't have the ivy nodes available on Polygon anymore. So if you find another way to do ivy, then there's extra points there too. Yes, because this is exactly what you want to see in front of Harvard. So we know we're representing the people. Student housing, probably. And cost